Guys, so I don't know if you saw my last video, but it was just about my eyebrows, and I asked you guys if you want anything else, so still let me know. This video is completely different, has nothing to do with makeup. It actually has to do with being a lady or womanly things, whatever, baby making. Let's be honest, baby making. It is not as easy as everyone thinks it is. Making a baby is hard. It is so hard. So let's begin my journey. Story time. Well, I have been married for about 4 years now, a little over 4 years. I've known my husband for 8 years. Gonna be 8 years in New Year's Eve this year. He's in the Marine Corps. I am an after-school tutor. We didn't want to have any children until later on in our relationship, 2 years after we lived in Hawaii for 2 years, and we were just having fun, swimming, living life, as a couple together, newlyweds. And then after a while, we decided that we should just not really try, but not really prevent, if that makes any sense. No more birth control, condoms, basically anything to keep you from having babies. And there's something probably wrong. We haven't used any protection. We haven't, taken any birth control pills. Why aren't we getting pregnant? So I asked my husband, I was like, hey, do you want to go to a doctor and see if we're healthy? Because if we're not, then we should know and we get to actually see what's going on. And it turns out, well, he's fine. We did both the tests. I did an HSG, I think that's what it's called. Anyways, it's an x-ray of your uterus. It is not the most pleasant experience I've had. And he had his specimen analyzed. That was a good way to put it. He turns out he's very healthy. He's normal, average count. There's nothing wrong with him. And then they checked me, and then they're like, okay, well, there's no blockage in your uterus or your ovaries. You're okay. And then they would do blood test upon blood test upon blood test, and then check your progesterone, your thyroids, all these different blood tests to see what's going on, what can they do to help you to conceive. And first I started out with a gynecologist, an OBGYN, and I was with her for a year until the last step that so blood test upon blood test, and it turned out that my progesterone levels were really, really low, crazy low. So she's like, okay, well, we're going to put you on this medication called Clomid. And I was like, cool. Did a blood test after that, and it turned out my levels were good. I ovulated. So my progesterone levels shows if I ovulated or not, which means do I release an egg out of my ovaries so the sperm can come and, fertilize it. That's what it means if my progesterone levels were at a good normal level. And because they were low, that means I don't ovulate. The Clomid was working, and they gave me prenatal in case I got pregnant. They did everything. They were great, so nice. The doctor gave me her email, so I was able to email her. I felt kind of bad because I kind of bugged her all the time. What can I do? Pleasant. I started my period. I need to go see you again. And then after everything, she's like, we don't really understand what's going on. Your levels are showing that you ovulate. And we give you a sugar shot, which is a shot that they give me either in your buttocks, or depends on what kind of trigger shot they give you, or on your belly that you give yourself. She's like, we're gonna give you this trigger shot to make you ovulate, and then you're gonna have intercourse at this time thing. And then after that first trigger shot, it didn't work. I still got my period. And then we do IUI, which is artificial insemination, where they make this little tube, little tiny little straw, go past your cervix. So it's like your cervix is like this, and they put a little straw and they go like this, and then they get another little thing and they get the washed sperm, which is like fresh sperm, but they only get the good ones, the ones that are ready to go, and then they put in the little straw, and then they go past the obstacle course of what is your vaginal canal to go into your uterus, to go into your ovary, to find the egg. And we did that one. The first time, still didn't work. I have been fortunate enough to not have experienced a miscarriage in my life, and I consider myself very blessed for that, because it's very difficult for people to come back from that. It's very painful. It's very emotionally hard to move on and be more optimistic about that. And so I consider myself very blessed for that. And after that IOI failed, I emailed my doctor and said, IOI failed, I'm very upset, but I'm very optimistic that it will work. She's like, okay, well, I'm going to refer you to the infertility clinic. My app, which I use, the Glow app, which I really, really like, because there's a lot of people that on there that talk about the situations that they're going through and have experienced through other things that I haven't gone through or yet going to go through. And it makes it a little easier. But sometimes you get kind of caught up, and then you're gonna get over analytical about every single thing, which is, I've been there. It's hard not to get like that. It's hard not to get overcritical of everything, like of what's going on in your body. Like, oh my gosh, I am nauseous today, I must be pregnant. When it's no. I realized and I learned that your period and pregnancy symptoms are very similar. So it's easy to miscommunicate that. So I don't test anymore. I don't take pregnancy tests. I refuse to take them for the simple fact that I don't like seeing that negative line. I would like to be like, surprise, body has shown me that I'm pregnant and I didn't even know. But it's hard not to be over hypersensitive to your body when you're going through things like this. So going on. Since she has referred me to this infertility clinic with the Naval Hospital here in San Diego, I have two wonderful doctors. They're so nice. And they explained to me, like, everything's going to be okay. You have least of the problems that other people have, which is true. I don't have PCOS, which I'm very, very grateful for, because I know that makes it much more difficult. But I'm also a mystery to my doctors. They don't really see why it's not happening, which makes it a little frustrating, because they have told me themselves, you are healthy and your husband is healthy. We are yet to know why the show hasn't begun, meaning why haven't I gotten pregnant? But they're like, don't worry, this will happen for you. And that's very, very nice to know that your doctors are very there for you. They're positive, because a lot of the time you're not. It's hard to be positive. It's hard to relax. It's hard to not think about every little thing, or every day a little slight thing, like little sensitivity in your boobs. You're just like, oh my gosh, it's just hard, difficult. So now they did a second IOI. I had 1.5 egg, which means they have to get to 20 millimeters to be in a mature egg, so they can release and then go through the ovary canal, little ovary thingies, to get to the uterus, to where the sperm will find it. And So that was my second IUI, and it failed. And that one, my husband was actually there with me, and so was my lovely cousin. And then I see a whole bunch of women that are pregnant there, and it just hurts a little bit because I'm not there yet. Well, so now what happens is I go to a doctor's appointment to do a sonogram, and a sonogram is like this. I'm gonna pretend this microphone is the thing that goes into my lady parts. So they put little they put lubrication on top of it, and then they go into the lady's vagina, and they look at your eggs and your cervix to see how thick it is, how much eggs you have, and I have gotten really good to see what's going on in a sonogram. I've been learning because I've been there so much. And then they give you pills and medication, and now instead of Clomid, which is just like a little pill that I would take every night, now I have to take injectables, and I have to put it into my belly. I have to get like a little chunk of my fat, which doesn't feel cute. You will see eventually how it goes, but I inject. It's like an EpiPen, but it's not. You have to get into your stomach, and you just stay there for like 5 Mississippis, pull it out, and then little axes come, so you just let that into the sink, take off the needle, put it to the side, because you have to throw it away in like a biohazard kind of trash. And then you go in, and to do your estrogen levels, I don't know, that just shows you how much eggs I'm showing, or I'm not fully aware of what it is. I just know that I need to get blood tests every so often, or every 2 days after I take those medications, and they tell me how much I have to take. Sometimes it's 75 grams, sometimes it's 100. It just really depends, but it's a lot of medication, and sometimes it makes you feel achy. It doesn't feel good, especially the trigger shot. For 2 weeks, for the first time I took it, the first 2 weeks, I felt sick. I was never hungry, really. I was nauseous. It was like pregnancy symptoms, which blew my mind, because I was like, what's going on? What's with my body? I hate you, husband. And he's not even doing anything. Poor guy. Has to deal with so much. Because I'm a crazy person sometimes. It's okay. I've lived with it. He's living with it. We're all okay. We're all living with it. But I just went to my sonogram yesterday, and I have a leftover follicle or cyst from my last stimulation, which was a month ago, from my last period or cycle. And he's like, okay, we're going to see you in a week to see if it went away, and if it didn't, we'll just see what's going on. They usually try to give you birth control, but he didn't, because I don't normally ovulate on my own. He didn't. But going on with a little bit of the story, for the past about 3-4 cycles, I have, when giving me the injectables, they have sometimes, because of my age, they have sometimes issues with the fact that I have too many eggs, or my ovaries were too stimulated by the medication, that it just is too many. I produce too many eggs. So the few times, I think it was in May, they're like, you have 4 eggs. That's not good, because with the trigger shot, you can release all of them, and that would mean multiples with an IUI, and that's too much of a risk for you and for your future babies, and we can't do it. We don't recommend this. We don't want to do it. We even recommend you not even having intercourse throughout this time, because the risk is so high. Anyway, so this is where we are. You will be coming with me on Monday to my sonogram. I hope they let me record. If they don't, I'm sorry. I'll let you know how it went. Anyway, that's the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys see or have similar situations. Let me know. I always want to know what other people are going through, if it's similar to mine where they don't know why they aren't getting pregnant. It's not everyone, like I said in my last video, everyone is different. Everyone has different life experiences. And so everyone gets pregnant differently, whether it's, one drunken night or one planned night where a little science was involved, which is in my case. So, with that said, again, thank you for watching. If this is helpful at all, or if you would like to know more of what's going on, just stay tuned for my next video. Thanks. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.